Hello, all wonderful folks. Welcome to Agile Mistakes. Today, I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic, finite and infinite games. Friends, yesterday I was reading a job description and it was mentioned there the candidate should be able to handle pressure. Candidate should be able to multitask. Sounds familiar? Well, my question is multitasking is scientifically proven as inefficient and productivity reducing trait. But then why still it's a norm in the IT industry? Pressure situations means fundamentally flawed management and leadership. But still, we write it with pride in job description. Similarly, office dirty politics, harassment, exploitation, backstabbing, leg pulling, excessive workload, working till late night, that dreadful feeling of job insecurity, insufficient recognition for the level of contribution you are giving, office rumors and gossips, mental stress, diabetes, poverty, global warming, terrorism, drug addiction, computer viruses, spam emails, etc. These are not personal or local problems. These are global problems. None of us want these kind of problems, but yet collectively we all are producing these problems. And because of that, we find ourselves at the verge of extinction. In fact, we have threatened the very existence of the planet itself. This all have become norm in the world we are living in. We all have accepted these serious dysfunctions as part of our lives, and we all have learned to live along with this. I've also been playing victim of these traits, these dysfunctions that has grasped corporate culture top to bottom world over. I also used to get stressed out tremendously. I did develop high cholesterol levels sometime in past. But somewhere around 5 to 6 years back, I started feeling bored about these dysfunctions. There are many aspects to it, but more importantly, and more than anything else, I felt bored about these dysfunctions. I felt bored because it's everywhere. These dysfunctions are just about everywhere. These are present in your classroom, in your colleges, social gatherings. Same goes with your family, in your team, in your neighborhood, community, or into your organization. These dysfunctions exist everywhere. I thought to myself, how could it be that wherever you go, it structures up more like the same way? I asked to myself, is this fundamental design pattern of the systems we are living in? And if this is the design pattern, for sure people involved cannot be blamed for any of those negative traits or dysfunctions. I said to myself, how world is treating me is not in my control, and therefore I should not even be asking the question that how world is treating me. That's not the question which I should ask to myself. The better question is how I am treating the world. That is the question I would like to ask myself. I said, come on, greatest of the civilizations have flourished on this planet continued for more than 10,000 years, like Indic civilization. Greatest of the engineering projects of the likes of Kailashnath Temple in Maharashtra, India, Brihadareshwar Temple in southern India, Nazca Lines, Pumapunku, Machu Picchu. All these greatest of the projects and engineering marvels have been built on this land where generations of people work together flawlessly. I tell you about Kailashnath Temple. It's a single rock cut temple, and generations of people worked over maybe around more than 100, 150 years. And there is no single flaw. They started a project, and for more than 100 years or 150 years or so, they continued on the same project with the same design. And that's amazing. That's amazing human abilities. Because friends, working flawless requires that blissful state of the mind. And if these projects are present on the planet, that means there must be better approaches, methodologies, and mindset techniques where larger groups work together more efficiently and productively, blissfully. So, where is the problem? Who is the culprit? And first of all, are we even aware of the situations we are into? These are some of the most fundamental questions which started coming to my mind. And let me ask you, the way we live our lives, the way we face situations in our lives, do we even know the game we are playing? I don't think so. Friends, there is this wonderful human being I came across named James Carsey. He introduced this concept of infinite games to a modern world in recent times. Well, few years back, I came across this concept. This thought process opened up altogether different world for me. A world of finite and infinite games. Well, if you have at least a one competitor, you have a game. And there are two types of games, finite game and infinite game. Now, let me first talk about finite games. Now, finite games have got fixed rules, known players, finite time, agreed upon objectives like team who scores most goals will win and you all go home. Example, football is a finite game. Now coming to infinite game. Infinite games means known and unknown players, dynamic rules, they keep on changing. There are no fixed rules. Infinite games got infinite time. It's not like 90 minutes of football. It's infinite. Now, objective in infinite games is to perpetuate the game. That is to keep the game in play. There is no such thing as winning or losing in infinite games. For an analogy, consider a Cold War situation. The Cold War was stable because we could not have a winner or loser. They kept on playing. There is no winning or losing. When one other player runs out of resources or will, they drop out, like it happened with USSR. But the game continues with you or without you. Problem arises when you place finite versus infinite pair. Now, finite pair plays to win, while an infinite player place to keep playing. And that is what happened with America when it started waging war against terrorism. America fought to win the war within a finite period of time, with finite resources, with finite budget. While on the other side, terrorists were fighting for their lives and to their last breath. And therefore, they both made very different strategic choices. And we all know what happened. America ran out of their resources and will and dropped out in a way. Finite players always find themselves in quagmire against infinite player. So this gets me thinking, what kind of situations are we surrounded with? Are we even know the design, the fabric of these situations? Are these infinite games we are into? Well, for example, marriage is an infinite game. Friendship is an infinite game. Because there is no such thing as winning or losing in a marriage, no such thing as winning or losing in friendship or politics, and there is no such thing as winning or losing in business. But if we listen to most of the leaders today, they don't know the game they are into. They talk about being number one, being the best, beating your competition, which means majority of our leaders are playing an infinite game with finite mindset, which means they are running through will and resources, and this results in bankruptcy or merger or an acquisition. It leads to decline of trust and causes dysfunction within your teams, your families, your organizations, between countries world over. It also leads to decline of cooperation and innovation. Lack of understanding of the design pattern of infinite games, lack of infinite mindset is taking the toll in this world, which means we need to fundamentally readjust our mindset. We need to challenge our conventional systems. Maybe our present collective intellect on this planet is fundamentally flawed. So, what I'm trying to say here is that, friends, if you find yourself in perfect storm, if you're facing any problem, if you're upset, if someone is making you feel guilty or stressed out, maybe it's time to explore that problem to its root cause. Maybe it's time to redefine our systems, processes, and tools. Maybe we need to be more aware of our situations. Maybe it's time to take that next evolutionary step, because there is always hope. Maybe some exploration is due on you. Maybe some innovation is due on you. Remember, friends, knowledge is power and knowing is owning. This is the next movement. The revolution is coming. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the bell icon, subscribe my channel, and hit the like button if you really find this session worthy and it matters to me. Thank you so much. Bye bye.